To all our readers in the US, we'll get straight to the point. This Monday, we ask you to help Wikipedia. To maintain our independence, we will never run ads. We depend on donations averaging about $15. Only a tiny portion of our readers give. If everyone reading this donated $3, we could keep Wikipedia thriving for years to come. The price of your Monday coffee is all we need. It's a little awkward to be asking this on a Monday, as I'm sure you are busy and I don't want to interrupt you. But there's never an easy time to remind people that giving to Wikipedia not only supports a service you frequently use, but it helps keep a neutral internet alive and thriving. When I made Wikipedia a non-profit, people warned me I'd regret it. Over a decade later, it's the only top site run by a non-profit and a community of volunteers. Most people ignore my messages, but I hope you'll think about how useful it is to have unlimited access to reliable, neutral information. Please help keep Wikipedia online and growing. Thank you. This is the way of the dork. Welcome, everybody, to episode 65 of the Four Dorks Podcast. I'm Nate, aka Angry Nate.
I see dead people.
This is Collector Clint.
This is Asian Tony Stark.
And we are joined by two very special guests this week. We'll let them introduce themselves as they stop laughing.
Should we whisper?
If you want to.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'll let Matt go first.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Sully, one half of the brothers Sully.
And this is Sully, a.k.a. Big Sully, co-founder of NerdFoo, Funko Funcast member, Twitch partner, and the other half of the Movie Retakes Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us today. Couple of quick housekeeping things for us. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. Make sure you play along at Dorksman Bingo, dorksmanbingo.com. Again, as always, shout out to Andrew of the Toy Rewind podcast, where he does a podcast with him and his brothers, for building that bingo card for us. And of course, shout out to Larry from the STS guys and the Totally Rad Movie Pod for giving us the redirect link, so it's nice and easy for you to find where the bingo card is.
Hey, before you go any further, you said shout out.
Give it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear that bell a lot.
Carl Weathers.
Carl,
Did I win?
you did. Podcast over. Sully wins.
All right, good show. Let's go.
Good show.
Hey.
Let's wrap it up.
I had a great time.
Good night.
See you later.
But yes, Michael, we saw your email. I don't know if we've responded. I haven't responded. Oh,
I responded
Clint
today.
responded.
I
We got the email response. So there you go. You emailed us. You got a response.
It says, please stop emailing us here.
Yeah. We should do. Oh my God, that's perfect. I'm gonna set out an out of office for our Gmail, and it's just gonna be like, please don't ever email us again.
Or
That's
have it do something
the wrong
like,
email.
This is not a
There you go.
customer service channel.
Dave's not here, man. Something like that.
Dave's not here.
But yeah, so make sure you're following us on all those social channels. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's get into our Ask the Dorksman question. We always love these questions, so thank you for continuing to interact with us on Twitter with those. So our first question this week comes from Manny, our good friend Night Bodega. So his question is, if you were in a zombie land or World War Z, whatever the way you pronounce it,
That's the Canadian thing.
Yeah. What would be your weapon of choice and how would you survive?
All right, Joey, start us out.
Yeah, Joey, it's been a while.
You know,
You start us out.
It's been a while. I'm trying to think back. There was actually a Mythbusters episode. I don't know if y'all ever remember seeing that, where Adam and Jamie both took two different weapons to try to see which one was more effective. I think one of them took like a gun, and the other one took like a chainsaw,
It's a
or
chainsaw,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. So just one weapon.
Just
That's
one
the
weapon.
question.
Okay. A remote detonated nuclear bomb. There you go. Nobody else can win.
So you
Well,
don't
yeah,
plan
but
on
you
living.
don't.
Okay.
It's a weapon.
It is,
So-
but it takes you out. So, all right.
I said remote detonated. Did you not catch on to that part?
How remote, though? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
are you going to be on a different
safe
continent?
distance on a nuclear explosion that would take out the zombies that would plague you.
Way to go, guys.
I'm
Normally
meeting
I make it
in
technical, but
Antarctica.
good job.
Oh, you know that thing that they've got where they keep all the seeds in case we do have an apocalypse? I'm gonna go where the seeds are.
Gotcha.
That's like built into like an ice shelf or something. That's where I'm gonna be at.
So you're taking the Plants versus Zombies approach.
Yes.
Wow.
Plants for the win.
That was impressive, Clint.
That was a good. That was a good reference.
You should really leave on a high note, bud.
Okay, fine.
I think I'd go with shotgun, like multiple shotgun, not just like a Cracker Barrel 2-shot double barrel, but like some that had like a clip.
Just Elmer Fudd
like
style.
A true Southerner.
Yeah.
Hunting Bugs Bunny with a musket.
So I gotta go before anybody else does. I gotta go with Joey. I had the exact same thought. I mean, Jesse, or not Orlando. What is Jesse's name in Zombieland?
Jesse Eisenberg.
What is it?
No.
Wichita's Emma Stone.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Wichita.
I thought it was Tennessee.
Kansas. We'll just name states until somebody gets it right.
It's some point. Anyway,
Not Texas.
Is he Ohio?
Hawaii.
Or is he? Anyway, wherever he is.
I'm gonna Google it.
Please do.
Tallahassee is in Tallahassee.
That one
Woody
bothered
Harrelson.
me. Isn't everybody else a state? And
It's
then
Columbus.
Columbus. Yes. He's Ohio.
Oh, no,
Yes,
that's
Columbus.
Columbus. Okay.
But
Isn't
anyway,
one of them a state?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Tallahassee was Woody Harrelson.
Right, and then Wichita and I don't remember Abigail.
Little Rock.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I would definitely go with Columbus's shotgun. How he has it in the first one, do the double pump. Versatile, can get away. I think that'd be the way to go. And a lot of ammo.
Yeah, see, that's the problem is the ammo, whether or not you're going to be able to get access to it again. I don't know if we're going in any sort of order, but since I'm talking, I'll go.
Yeah,
go for it.
Joey has to go first. That's the only rule.
I came up with a good one just now. I think a black licorice cologne, because I figure if I taste like black licorice, nothing will want to bite me.
Oh, that's garbage.
Oh. No, there'd be like that one out of 50 that still found you just irresistible.
That 1%.
Love it.
Yeah, that's true. Then they'd really like it. I figure it needs to be like a machete. It needs to be something you don't have to reload. Yeah. It's short enough where you don't need a big swing radius. You can jab with it as well as swing. So I think you get a lot of versatility. Plus, having a blade is going to be handy in pretty much many situations.
That's exactly where I was headed to. I'm going Michonne style with some sort of blade or sword because you don't need reloads. You can be silent, which is key. Most of your fighting that you care about anyway is going to be up close. Anything from a distance, you can just go the other direction, hopefully. So yeah, I'm going blade.
I'm going to stay in that tip, ninja style katana. Same reason.
Sounds a lot better when he says it that way.
Yeah, you're right. Sounds much cooler. Initially I thought about using a gun too, because just like you get some distance and you get some range. If you can stay ahead of them, then you're okay. But like if you get overwhelmed, like a gun, you're gonna have to reload, so that's a problem too. So I was just thinking just like a big backpack full of grenades, so I could just
that at least would be fun.
At least it'll be fun. And if I got to go down, it's just it'll be over quick.
If I'm in the zombie apocalypse and I see Nate or Joey, I'm going the other direction because I don't want to die immediately from an explosion gone wrong.
Nate, why don't you
Nate,
just
I worry
get
about
angry?
towards the nuclear explosion.
Nate, I worry about a pin falling out in that backpack, and then that's just the end of it.
That's also true. Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Nate's his own WMD.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Joey's bomb. That's what I am.
I'm Joey's bomb.
Remotely set off Nate.
Yeah. That's
Writing
terrible.
that one down,
Don't do
too.
that. Don't.
Soy bomb. That's an old callback. Nobody remembers that one. Yeah. I'd like to believe I'd survive at all, but I really don't think I would.
Same.
I'm pretty sure I'd be one of the first to go. Well, that's the thing. So I've thought about this before because I write stories and stuff, and so I wanted to write a story about you can't be the first person to realize that there's a zombie apocalypse and kill the zombie, because if you do, you're just a murderer. There's no apocalypse. Nobody's gonna believe you. That dude was a zombie. By the way, if you hear that again, that's my defense when I murder somebody. In the future. That dude was totally a zombie.
He was a
I saved
zombie.
everyone's life. Yeah, I deserve a medal, not
over here.
life in prison.
I
Yeah,
would-
so you actually have to wait until there are multiple zombies, which is a shame. But then
You got to
can
just
go kill
stand back and let it happen a little bit so other people
Yeah.
will witness, record
I'm-
it so you can play it later, maybe live stream it.
I've seen that episode of Community. I think it happens pretty quickly, so I think you'd be okay.
I would survive
that's
for
the-
like
that's the thing
months
is
or
you-
years, but then I
Yeah.
would cut myself and get an infection, and then gangrene would set in, and I'd die
Oh,
that
yeah.
way. Yeah, not from a
It
zombie
bothers
cut.
me. It bothers me watching these movies where you see them and they're just covered in blood. I'm like, okay, wait, you could get bit and turn, but you can't. If
Right.
you take a bath in the same blood, I'm pretty sure you're gonna turn. Yeah, I'd
More
be
like
wearing a
28
mask
days
and-
later or 28 weeks later. I don't want any of that to touch me. Yep.
Ew.
No.
Yeah, that sucks. Gets it right in the eye.
Oh,
Ew.
one drop.
That's the concern. The eye.
Yeah, don't want to get pink eye during this whole zombie.
Pink eye.
Yeah,
That's how I
I'll
die.
get through that.
On top of it all,
Yep.
He gets
Pink
got a
eye.
bad case of conjunctivitis did him in.
That's how I would die right there. It'd be
It's
something
like on the
that.
Oregon Trail, you just die of dysentery. But
Yep.
like, in the zombie apocalypse, you die of dysentery. Like,
Either that
the
or
worst
just to
way
keep
to
it
go.
relevant, it'd be COVID. You survive the zombies and die of COVID.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
There you go.
Thank you, Manny, for the question. I'm sure Clint's already hit you up on Twitter. We'd love to
I haven't.
hear, or he's gonna.
But
we'd love to
Manny-
hear-
Shout out to Manny though. He asked
Yeah.
like 7 different.
yeah, Manny's got some
Halloween-related
good.
questions,
He's
so,
got some
nice.
good questions. We'll
yeah,
have to use them for future episodes as well.
absolutely.
Our second question comes from Simshu, our friend Mandy. Shout out to Mandy. If you could create a horror movie, what would it be about, and who would you cast? This should be a fun one.
I
Joey,
have an
as
answer.
always.
Whenever
Oh,
you're ready.
yep.
We'll let him go
Go
first.
for it.
Oh, am I going
All
first?
right.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I desperately want the Cornetto trilogy to become more of a Cornetto saga. So I went Simon Pegg and Nick Frost did Zombies already with Shaun of the Dead, which is one of the best horror movies of all time, one of the best movies of all time. I want to see them tackle other genres of scary movies. So I would love to see them do a vampire movie and a mummy movie and some other ones, like one per year, every couple of years during Halloween from here on out.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
great.
That'd be pretty cool.
Edgar
That'd
Wright
be really
directing,
great.
of course.
Yes.
Oh,
of
gotta be.
course. It has to be. Yeah. Who's next? Who's got something?
see, I don't have a specific cast in mind, but I like the idea of. I don't know if you guys ever watched Bubba Hotep, with Bruce Campbell and Ozzie Davis, but it's basically there's this mummy that returns in all these in this old folks home, and I like the idea of just these elderly people trying to fight this outbreak of zombies or something with walkers and canes and things like that, and I just think that's kind of hilarious. So it'd be, and plus I'd really like to see somebody who you don't expect, like very regal dramatic actors that have never done any horror at all of a sudden in their later years to come out and do something unexpected and do some
Sir
horror.
Patrick Stewart versus
right.
zombies.
Yeah.
I'd watch
You
that.
shall sit down.
Engage.
There you go.
But he's senile and he keeps like calling out Star Trek references.
Number two.
Why aren't they being beamed away?
Wolverine, get him.
Yeah.
I want like one of those like B movie type horror movies where like the gore is just campy and just over the top, and it's like, okay, like their head's being smashed in, but it's like still a head. But I want it with like Muppets. Like I just want the whole movie in Muppets. Like I just want to see stuffing flying all over the place and fur and yarn and everything. And that's the gore. That's what you get, and it's rated G, and everybody can go see it.
It's rated G.
Rated G.
Come on now. Only Disney cartoons that get the G rating,
Rated
with,
G for
something
gore.
like that recently.
What
And
was
it
that?
was like they made something recently like that were Muppets. The movie flopped big time, but it came out in the last couple of years.
There's something murders.
Yeah,
with,
exactly. Happy
Melissa
Town Murders or
McCarthy.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Melissa
a mystery.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wasn't it like a mystery kind of thing? Not
I
a
think
horror
I never
mystery?
watched
It was
it.
like
but I was-
like a detective
anybody see it?
whodunit type thing.
It is
Yeah.
the Happy Time Murders.
That's what it was.
There you go.
Murders.
I like the
Where-
premise, but then I saw the rating was just awful, so I just
Yeah.
never bothered.
They got negative
Right.
2 Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
So rotten, it doesn't exist.
Did anybody ever see? This is pre Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson did a movie called
Frighteners?
No, Frighteners was what we just talked about. No,
Uh-huh.
but it's all puppets and stuff. But it's disgusting. It's like the lead rabbit has AIDS and spreads it to like the
Oh my
other
God.
puppets and stuff. And
What?
yeah, it's awful. But anytime I just laughed to myself because I saw that before he did anything else. And then when they announced Lord of the Rings coming out and he was going to do it, I'm like, this guy you chose to do. Yeah, what is Meet the Feebles? That's what it's called. Meet the Feebles.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
if you guys can find it anywhere, I'm sure he's buried it since
Oh,
then.
I'm sure.
but,
Yeah, trying to hide it.
it is insane.
Interesting
It
fact
is
about that
weird.
film: Sandra Bullock was a voice on that film, as well as Carl Weathers. I mean, what are the odds of that?
Another Carl Weathers trivia question. You'll get
Wonder we
wrong.
did that while eating his stew. To go back to our original question, I actually am kind of surprised Sully Chris didn't go with this. I really think some of the more impactful things have been like Final Destination or Paranormal Activity, which haven't been why they worked is they weren't plugged because of the actor or actresses in it, but rather like kind of a fresh crew, fresh perspective, fresh story. So I would definitely want something along those lines. In terms of cast. And to be honest, and Sully doesn't approve of this, but the Paranormal Activity stuff, like the not seeing it, the not embracing it, that stuff I think really could be more scary if done right. That's something I would like to see more of. I don't need the blood. I don't need the gore. I think my favorite movie, well, we'll get it probably into that later, but anyway, I'd like to see something like that really isn't necessarily, it messes with your head more than it messes with your stomach. It makes you want to throw up from all the gore. In a sense.
Yeah. That reminds me. I don't know if I'm overstepping.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I have
We're
a
free range here, man.
concept. Okay, cool. I have this concept that I'd really like to see done for a television show. So my wife watches pretty much any of these paranormal investigation shows you can think of. She watches all of them, and so by association, I watch all of them because I'm just always around and have to see these things. And some of them are really ridiculous, and I respect like that the whole genre because it gets you, like you're interested, and it's whatever. Anyway, the concept here though is basically to have where it's presented as a paranormal investigation show on the caliber of these other ones, where it's very amateurish, and it's these guys that go in, and for the first like 3 or 4 episodes, that's all it is. They investigate, and then somebody on the crew actually gets like kidnapped by a demon. And then it transitions into this real world thing where they have to become legitimate paranormal investigators and actually learn all of these things that they didn't know, and then go find their friend that's in like the underworld or something. But I love the idea where people don't know that it's going to be this kind of show, and they're kind of lulled into this basic thing, and then later on it gets very, very dramatic.
It's Ghost Facers. There's actually a subplot in Supernatural.
Somebody's already done it. Great.
Do that.
Never mind.
But it'd be great to do the show like a real show from
Delete
their
the last
perspective.
10 minutes.
Okay. It'd be a great
to do it again.
Yeah, do it for real.
Okay.
That's a great concept.
I like that.
yeah.
I like that.
Your audience would change pretty drastically come episode 5.
Right.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that would be the big payoff, is that shock.
No,
Right.
totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It'd be worth it, even if you're the only one who gets a kick out of it, who made the show.
How about you, Ryan?
We've seen Jason versus Freddy. I'd like to see Jason versus Michael Myers.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a fairer matchup, I think.
Yeah, it's more.
I would like
I mean,
that
as
too.
far as like build and like their style of slasher.
Not a lot of dialogue.
True, not a lot of dialogue.
It'd be like Wally.
or
After they-
Castaway.
After that came out, they were supposed to do a sequel. It was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. And
Ash
it
from
never went anywhere.
Evil Dead?
From Evil
Oh.
Dead.
Oh, crazy.
I thought
But
that
just
would
from
be
the
amazing.
perspective, like from the psychological perspective on these two killers, they, in my opinion, kind of have a similar style about stalking ish. So I'd like to see which one would win.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to see Chucky versus the Leprechaun. Talking about
Wait,
matching
just
up.
wanna watch
sides.
two
I mean,
midgets
that's
fight?
a
I
fair.
think you
Like-
wouldn't see it from up there, Joey.
Yeah, his binoculars as he's looking down. He's just like,
Oh, this is fascinating.
Hey, leave my shins
what-
alone. Stop that,
This is
you.
what God sees. He sees two little.
Oh my God.
This is what God sees. There's a great podcast title.
Yeah.
I'm writing them
Well,
all
God
down.
sees.
There's a bunch so far.
I think for me, I think I'd have to go with something like where it'd be a cross with Freddy Krueger or like like those typical movie monsters, and they're living in their universe, but somehow like Freddy goes into John Wick's dreams, and John Wick says, "No, you're you're not doing this." And then he goes and he hunts down the monsters and stuff. So kind of a twist on combining those universes. That would be the only type of horror movie that I would watch because I'm just a big chicken. So like actual horror movies or no, but like if it's more of like an action movie with like the horror characters, I could probably do it.
They're talking about crossing over John Wick with Atomic Blonde. So let them do that for a couple of movies and then take them against a zombie apocalypse. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
We should just have a movie where it's every Keanu Reeves character against every other Keanu Reeves character.
Yes.
Be excellent.
Neo versus Constantine versus John Wick versus Johnny Utah. Yeah,
Versus the
that'd
guy
be a lot of
from
fun.
Johnny
the
Mnemonic.
mailbox. or
Yeah,
whatever
Johnny
it is.
Mnemonic. Don't
Johnny
forget Johnny
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic. Yeah.
Yeah, who else?
Oh,
whatever character he played
The
in
mailbox.
47 Ronin.
Yeah,
Or
the
the lake
mailbox.
house.
Lake House. That's it.
That one dies
Just be
first.
Starring Sandra Bullock.
yeah. So that's how he
Letters all
communicates with
time.
the other John Wicks. Is he writes letters at the lake house and he puts it in the
There you go.
mailbox. Right? That's how.
Ah.
There you go. We can make it work. This
So
is
what is
great.
it? It's the Keanu Reeves multiverse now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of worse ideas
Keanu-verse.
today.
Keanu-verse. The Keanu-verse.
I'd watch that.
And plot twist: Ted from Bill and Ted is the last one standing
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he was
time
just
traveling back.
stuck
Either-
stuck in the phone booth the whole time.
Either that or the sage from the SpongeBob
He just
movie.
doesn't participate.
Yeah,
He's
you
just
figure
in
out
the
how to
phone
open the
booth.
door.
He lives because he was the last one alive. That's it. What happened?
You guys weren't excellent to each other. Look what happened.
So many of me are dead.
Does Keanu have a British accent, Clint?
I
thought
don't
I
know.
heard a British accent.
That's how he does in Britain where this is all taking place, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
We definitely
Right.
hear different things.
That was supposed to be Irish. Why does it always come out that way? Slap in the
Oh.
face. Excellent. Well,
Amazing.
thank you. I'll let you go, Nate.
Yeah. Thank you, Mandy, for the question. We'd love to hear what you would do if you could create your own horror movie and who would you cast in it. I'm sure Clint's going to hit you up on Twitter with that. But yeah, so today we've got the Sully brothers from the movie Retakes. And of course, it's Halloween season. So we just want to get them together to talk some Halloween movies and scary movies in general. And just, I mean, we've already kind of been going in that direction already with this. So, I mean, let's just keep the conversation going.
So let me ask you. Let's do the easy question first. What's
Yeah.
this? What's your favorite scary / Halloween / whatever movie? Anybody?
We talked a little bit about this on the live the other night. I really like the Child's Play movie, so Chucky's one I go to a lot. But honestly, Shaun of the Dead, I think, really
Oh,
is
nice.
probably all-time favorite, just because it's a little blend of all the above that I like, and I love Edgar Wright style directing and both those
Sure.
actors, and it's just brilliant.
So what about, just to play on that, does Ghostbusters not fall in the category?
I think it definitely could. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just asking. I'm not
it's a
saying you're
super-
wrong.
That's another.
sci-fi.
I think that's a clarifying question or discussion we need to have to start off. Was what constitutes, because you've got scary movies, you got horror, you got slashers, you got thrillers. You know, you got your sci-fi kind of stuff like Ghostbusters. Like, I guess we're just going to say all that's up for grabs. Or are we going to say, nope, it's got to be meet this?
I'm okay with it. Just whatever your favorite Halloween, scary, ghost movie, whatever. I think
Open-ended
I
discussion.
think we're pretty open. Yeah.
Although we did have the discussion last year and Ghostbusters came up and we actually looked it up. It's defined as like sci-fi, I think, more than anything else. Just, throwing that
Well,
out there because I
actually-
remember us talking about this.
Actually, though, do you guys remember our quizzes for Nerds Unite Con? 1984 is when that movie came out, and it was one of the top grossing horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. That's why we're just leaving it up to interpretation.
Twist.
Yeah.
Well, and from a lot of the stuff that I read too, like it was the guys when they were making it were promoted as a comedy, and because it was and the reason that was important was because they didn't normally throw a bunch of money at comedies. Like they were asking for this huge budget, and they're like, no, comedies don't require a budget like this. And so that was it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that's
totally.
and those are my favorite horror movies. Like if it's just meant to scare me, then I'm not going to come back to it as much. But if I also laugh, or if it's like, like Aliens or something, if there's also the sci-fi element in there, then that to me, like you've really taken a turn and you've made it appeal to a larger audience. And why wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
True.
I like Matt saying, something to make you laugh, because that goes to my favorite horror movie, Halloween movie, whatever you want to call it, is the Wishmaster series. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those or not, but it is absolutely hilarious. Like, because they're so over the top campy about it, and I don't know if that was done intentionally or not, but it's just absolutely hilarious. Like the different stuff that happens when they make a wish and stuff comes true. Like there's a scene like in an interrogation room, I think, with a police officer, and the guy goes and makes the wish and tells the guy to go blank himself. I don't want to say it out loud. And then like all of a sudden, like the wish is granted, and like the guy, you can tell at the table, the bottom half of his body starts twisting and contorting, and he does exactly what the guy told him to go do to himself.
Oh, wow.
And it is absolutely hilarious watching it. It's just so over the top.
That reminds me of I think that something similar to that happens in Preacher, in the comic at least, where like he tells, like basically he can tell someone to do whatever he says, and he does it, and the guy rips his man parts off and
his wedding tackle.
shoves it up his own ass. So that's the thing.
Undercarriage.
Yeah, his backside.
Give him a little "How's your father?"
Oh my.
Yeah. Anyways,
man.
yeah.
So I'll answer the question. When thinking about it, I think I came up with The Exorcist, and of course that requires a shout out to Reese, having him on talking about it. But just because, again, some of the kind of undertones of it wasn't gross, except for when she's spitting up pea soup and spinning around her head. But other than that, it was this kind of psychological part I mentioned earlier. Really, made me think, especially as a kid, and even today, even though that movie's older than I am, it still scares the hell out of me. So that's one reason I have that as my top scary movie.
It's hard because it comes down to, well, just like you're saying, Joey, like there's a bunch of different types of horror movies, and so they appeal to me in different moods. So saying there's one that I want to, it's going to be the top one. It's hard to say. I love Shaun of the Dead. I love Freddy versus Jason is actually one of those that I go back to multiple times because I think it's fun. It's campy. It's silly. It's a cool concept. I can't believe they actually made it. Like I love that they actually made that movie, because it's one of those that people came up with, and they're like, they're never going to make that, and then they did. And that's really cool. But I love like 28 Days Later. Like I'm a go-to for anything zombie. Like I'll watch everything zombie that comes out. I don't know why. That's just one of the things I go to. I don't really go to the stuff that's like the torture porn sort of thing, or anything that's supposed to be more grounded in reality. I like the fantasy stuff, like where you're hopefully believing none of this could ever really happen.
So, Matt, I want to know what's your favorite zombie movie.
You know what? It might be the Night of the Living Dead remake, like the one that was in the 80s.
Okay.
I really like, and the reason why, I'm not gonna say it's the greatest film ever.
No.
But for me, it's when I watched it. Like I was just getting into learning about a bunch of different kinds of movies and stuff, and I think that was probably the first zombie movie I watched.
Okay.
I had not explored all that much, and when I saw that, it was good. It shook me, and I love the concept, just like with Signs or something, where there's the stuff happening worldwide. You're assuming, but you're locked in this farmhouse. It doesn't have to be a farm, but one location. It just
Always a
happened to be a farmhouse in both of them. It's always a farm. Just stay away from farmhouses and you'll be fine. But I love that concept where something larger is happening, but we're just focused on this one tiny piece of it and stuff. And that was really cool. That was neat. And you believed it too. Like when they look outside and stuff and they talk about, well, we could just walk right past them. And that's what everybody thinks. Like, well, these zombies are so slow that we walk right past them. And then all these stupid things happen where you believe what happens. And then, they do get all bit up and stuff. And that's where 28 Days Later came in and just changed the game. We're like, now they're fast? That's not fair. Man,
Game
come
changer
on.
for real.
We had the one
This is a
thing that
thing.
we were slightly faster.
Yeah.
I give up.
Right. Totally.
So the one thing you had going for them was that you were smarter than them, but you were also faster than them. But then when they started moving fast, it's like, well, nope, now you really have no chance.
Now we're screwed.
Now you're really
But
screwed.
that last bullet for yourself.
Right.
And I like the twists on them too. Like I like Warm Bodies because I love that concept where
That
it is
was-
actually reverting back. Like nobody
Right.
seems to like that movie, but I like it.
I liked it
Yeah.
too. I thought it was good too. I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah.
The problem is people wanted a zombie movie and they got a love story. You know what I mean? That's probably what.
That- But to
I
me,
liked
that's again
Yeah.
that combination of different genres and stuff. I love that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I thought because I was surprised how much I liked that. I remember
Yeah. I
specifically
got duped
thinking
into
that.
watching that by a coworker of mine. She's like, you know
Yeah.
what? Come over. A bunch of us are just gonna hang out, and she just popped in the movie. She's like, I don't care what you guys think. We're here to just hang out, watch the movie. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I was happy
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah, I dug it. That's cool.
I dug it too. Did everybody answer their favorite scary Halloween movie?
I did not. I don't think Nate
I didn't
did
think
either.
so. I don't think so. Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure. So let's go back to that.
Mine, I would say twofold. I like the whole Resident Evil franchise in a whole. Like
Yeah.
I'll always watch it. I never tire of watching that. But as far as like my favorite, I would probably say Halloween, the original.
Mhm.
Again, I fall back to the psychological part of it. I'm not a big slasher fan. Like I cannot watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's just too rooted in reality. It gives me the creeps.
Ryan, the
and
only
I just-
movie I've ever walked out of was the second, the prequel of James.
Yeah, I
Texas
remember
Chainsaw
the story about you and your wife when you guys were dating.
Well,
but
someone else, but we'll leave
I don't
it
know
at
what
that.
it is. I enjoy just like the psychological part behind it. You know, the backstory with Michael Myers and everything. So,
Yeah, totally.
and I never
Yeah.
tire of watching it. I'll watch it every year. And I'm very bummed that the new one, what is it, technically going to be like the third installment in the
Yeah.
true franchise, I guess we'll call it, that I got pushed back to next year because of everything related to this year. Bummer.
the plague, the outbreak,
Yeah.
if you will.
Hey, So I have a question. So would the Sixth Sense be thrown into this psychological thriller
Yeah,
horror?
I think so.
scary
I would
movie
think
assume
so,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to go back and change my answer. So
Okay.
it's definitely Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
I still remember the first time I watched that movie and
Same.
the ring fell, and I was like,
Right.
Mhm.
"Oh my god,
Yeah.
he's been dead the whole time."
Yeah.
So there's a funny
Spoiler
story.
alert.
So we were watching.
If you don't know
Speaking of
that
which,
by now,
that's the story I'm about to tell. So we were watching this stand-up comedian special on Netflix. The special is called The Tennessee Kid. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It's like Bert something. If you haven't seen The
Reynolds?
Tennessee Kid on Netflix, you need to go watch it because it's very clean. You can watch it with your family and everybody, and he's absolutely hilarious. Anyway, so he's telling a story about the Sixth Sense, and then he said that spoiler alert, you know, the guy's dead the whole time. And McGuire, my son, who was like 17 already at the time, looked over me and he's like, "What movie is he talking about?" I'm like, "Have you never
Oh.
seen that movie
Oh,
before?"
no.
I was like, "I have failed you as a father." So like we immediately after the comedy special was over, watched it, and he's like, "This is a great movie. It would have been even better though if I'd not known he was dead the whole time."
and he's not
Like,
wrong.
we
How
still
dare
have
you.
to see
Yeah,
it.
he's not wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't often say that things are truly spoiled, but that is one of those movies that the
Yep.
entire thing
Yeah.
leans on you not knowing.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah.
I can go back still and watch it knowing
Yeah.
it. And
It's
I've
still
probably seen it
enjoyable
probably
when you know. Yeah.
double digits at this point, and I just still love that movie to this day. I still enjoyed it when I was watching it with my son.
Well, now when you rewatch it, you're watching it for a different purpose. You're looking for all the things.
Mm.
You're like,
Right.
oh, that was a clue right there. Oh, I see. Okay, now I
Yeah.
get it. And yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's still a good one.
Still
you
wearing
watch,
that same dirty sweater.
Did you watch M. Night's The Visit?
I still
I
haven't
haven't.
seen that.
No, I haven't seen that
Which
one.
one is
Good.
that?
It's later on. These kids go to visit their grandparents that they had never met before, and,
Oh, okay,
and
I've
they
not
are
seen that one.
acting incredibly creepy. And I can't ruin the rest of it, but it's really good. You need to check it out because
I
M
will
Night
have
for
to
me
check it
took a
out.
big drop.
Oh,
Oh, he
off
did,
into a
yeah, for
cliff,
sure.
And this was his return.
He came
Like,
back. Yeah.
Really? Okay, I'll need to check it out.
It is. It's that level of stuff where you're not gonna be blown away like by the revelation or anything, but you don't need to be. It's just a good movie.
Oh, I will check it out now.
I'll have to look that up.
Well, Nate,
Did you tell us your
Not
favorite
yet.
movie?
No, I think for me it'd have to be 28 Days Later. I'm not big on I'm not big on horror movies. Like I'll watch one once in a while. That's the thing I love about Wikipedia is when I'm too scared to watch a movie, I just read about it instead. And I think
That's one way
spoil it
around it.
myself. Yeah, and I just and then I'm quite knowledgeable on I'd spend like hours just going through and reading all about the Saw traps and all that stuff, and like across all the Saw movies. I'll watch YouTube videos on it and stuff, but it's just for whatever reason watching it in the movie setting is like I just can't do it. It's just not for me. Like my brain just doesn't. This is not good. But I can just watch that on YouTube like all day long and it'll be just fine. Like I watch trailers on YouTube and it's no big deal. But like actually sitting down and watching a scary movie is just like nope. My body just says no. It's really weird. It's like a defense mechanism.
You mentioned the Saw movies, and I've the only one I saw was Jigsaw, which came out a few years ago.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that one I enjoyed thoroughly. Maybe want to go back and watch the other ones, and it kind of had a twisty ending to it too that I was rather surprised that they came out and said. If you haven't seen, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but if you're a fan of the Saw franchise and you have not seen the Jigsaw movie yet, you need to go watch it because it was pretty neat what they did at the end of it.
I've mentioned this before. I'm also not a big fan of those type of films. Normally, just the blood and guts and and just trying to gross you out. But there is a story that weaves through all the Saw movies, or if you watch them, will really amaze you at the depth that they went to tell the story. And we're getting a new movie. My brother and I talked about it a little bit with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson called Spiral. That's set. It looks like it's set in the 70s or 80s by the trailer. So we might get more of a backstory on all this, and I'm really interested to see where they take it with that.
I'm betting that one's going to be pretty good.
Well, that's what Jigsaw does. I don't want to spoil any more, but it gives you some background too.
So is Jigsaw? I don't know, and I know you don't spoil it, but is it a prequel?
I can't say.
It weaves into the story, but it's part of the story. Yeah.
Well, see that. I mean, I liked Saw. The first Saw movie was great. Like
I've heard that too. That's
the
one I need to see.
It's completely different from the other ones.
Yeah,
but that's the problem is then they're like, oh, we found this cash cow. Yeah. And the quality of storytelling while still there isn't as strong, and they up the gore. I remember I actually haven't seen all of them, but I did actually see this through the theater through the fifth one, and I was like, what is this? Okay, I kind of got it, but it wasn't like Saw was. It wasn't like the first one.
From what I've heard about Saw, the original, that Jigsaw is kind of more along those lines where it's more story being told and less gore. You still get some gore, obviously. There's some crazy traps and stuff. But I would definitely give it a try if you were a fan of some of the originals. Clint.
Yeah,
the
first one
was very good.
Joey, I would lend you the first one on DVD if you lived closer. It's actually one of the few scary movies I have on a copy of some sort. So that's
I need to get a hand on it.
Shrink wrapped. It's never been.
It is not. It is open because that's how I watched
box.
It came from my wife, so that's how we have it. I'm kind of curious. We were talking about zombie movies. Nate, I think we know your favorite. Matt, we know yours. How about the rest of you? How about a zombie movie that you would say is your favorite zombie movie?
I said Resident Evil.
You did say Resident. Oh, and I wanted to let me remind me. I want to come back to that in a minute. Yeah. I'll go. I Zombieland hands down is mine. I absolutely love that movie. I love how they play with the zombie thing, especially with Bill Murray. That's all I'm going to say. And then even the second one was good. They waited way too long to release it, and I was really scared, but it turned out to be pretty good. Not as good as the first, obviously, but they're funny. They actually make they make you think. They're really well done, and I like the there's the rules, and going back to the zombies are faster. They're all named after Terminators. So
right, yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of pop culture references in there, and I it's something that has a little bit of everything to really make it entertaining. How about anybody
That
else?
cameo in Zombieland, I mean, it's way past the spoiler date.
Yes.
On
Yes.
this
Absolutely.
as well. But that Bill Murray cameo,
Uh-huh.
like to me, that was like a Sixth Sense level reveal. Honestly.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
At that point, it was just. I remember in the theater, I was just like, "This is amazing! Like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from?" And it was honestly it was the perfect moment for that movie.
Did you know he wasn't originally supposed to be in the movie?
Who was?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was originally supposed to be
Sandra Bullock.
Matthew McConaughey. And at the last second, he couldn't come, and Woody Harrelson had his number. So he called Bill Murray, and Bill Murray, they didn't know if he was going to show up or not, and he did. And so they filmed those parts.
That's awesome.
That's every story of every Bill Murray movie. Nobody ever knows if he's going to show up.
Nope. He doesn't have an agent anymore. He fired his agent. He has that answering machine, and that's the only way you can leave messages for him.
So are there any stories where Bill Murray doesn't show up?
I bet there are, but he's probably
those are the movies
silenced
that
them.
never got made. We don't know.
Yeah. What's
Right.
the point?
Good point. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad they did because I can't see anybody else in that role.
Oh, he was great.
I can't see Matthew McConaughey saying all right, and that's all. So
So I'll answer your question. I'm not going to pick Shaun of the Dead since it's already been mentioned, or Zombieland since it's already been mentioned. But I really enjoyed World War Z. I thought that was very
Me too.
good. But when I got to thinking about it, I'm like, I know there's one that I would like to see made that hasn't been made yet, and I would love to see Marvel branch out and do a zombies version, even if it was a Disney Plus special where they could maybe focus on, different characters that, each episode, something like that, or just one crossover. I don't know how they would pull that into the overall, phases and stuff. That's why I was saying the Disney Plus, but I think that would be very interesting.
I kind of wonder if they'll work that into that What If series that's coming.
Right. And that was my other part is, does it have to be MCU specific? Can't it be, like you said, What If or an extended What If? Because I would like to see that too, especially since I had no idea that existed until I saw Funko Pops of them. So
I don't know what the truth of it is, but I heard the urban legend once that the term zombie is actually protected by Marvel because of the comic book series they had back in the day, and that's why The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman was going to originally use the word zombie, but they told him it would be too expensive, and that's why he started with the walkers to avoid the use of the term zombie.
That's
I never heard that.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me. Wow.
I like. I thought 28 Weeks Later was a good follow up too, and they were. You guys were talking about that in World War Z. They were supposed to do a sequel to World War Z, and it just never has gotten going. And they were supposed to do a sequel to 28 Weeks Later too. They were supposed to end up being a trilogy, but he could never.
28 months later, or
I guess I don't know. It's
Get the
ridiculous.
big brain on Brad.
It's gonna be 28 years later.
Oh,
If they ever make it.
the COVID story.
Ooh, ouch.
I hope you're wrong.
the story of quarantine.
Me too. I will have retired by then, hopefully.
We'll just be
You
sitting
know what
there
I still like though too, as a zombie movie is I Am Legend. I think the CG is awful, but I still really like that movie. Like, Will Smith's brilliant in it. The story is great. It's just same. You know what I want to see him do? I want to put a budget together and have him redo that movie. Just go back and redo the CG. I bet they could do it and improve the zombies. Keep everything else the same. I don't know, but it would be a great experiment.
He loves doing
I would
that.
go see it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. If he can replace guns with walkie-talkies, I think he can replace.
Yeah.
these
Let's leave
zombies.
Star Wars alone and go to movies that actually need. I think like Lord of the Rings needs some CGI upgrading. Go do that.
Yeah.
Lucas.
Who thought we'd live in a day to say that? Remember how brilliant they were when they first came out?
Oh yeah, I do.
yeah.
But I remember like watching them like I think last holiday, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this?
But sometimes
But,
the bad CGI is what gives it character.
oh, absolutely.
You know?
That wasn't the case for this film, but I would 100% agree. And you guys still need to go see Velocipaster to see the awesome CGI in that movie.
You've tried to trick me on this many times. I'm not falling for it.
It's only an hour long. You'll like it. You'll appreciate that you saw it. Anyway, did everybody get their zombie movie in?
Yes, I think
Yes.
so.
I think so.
Ryan, I'm curious. What's better, the movies for Resident Evil or the video games?
I've not played the games enough to comment there, so I'm going to side
Really?
with movies. Yeah,
They're
the video
both
games,
good.
the video
I know the
games
video
came
games are very
first, right?
popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
video
just
games
have
came out
not
first,
played
right?
it enough to really fully compare.
I played them early on in the series, not recently, but but both are great.
Right.
The movies are great because they get so bad that they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. What are the movies actually based on the game? Like same characters, same storyline?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
'Cause the
starts
game
off
came
strong
first,
and then
right?
diverts.
Yeah, that's common.
Yeah.
Game
Yeah.
came first, yeah.
Game came first.
The whole
I remember playing the
umbrella,
game, and it scared me, man.
Raccoon
Like,
City, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's got some pretty good jump scares at some moments.
Yeah,
because that was my
Left 4
first
Dead's like that
experience.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that was an arcade game first. Like you played like Dave and Buster's before it came to the consoles, right?
Resident
What,
Evil?
Resident Evil? I
Was
don't
it?
think so.
No.
You mean
I
like
think
how
it was
Area
something else.
51 was? I remember that. I used
Oh,
to
I
play
loved
that a lot.
Area 51. That was
Anyway,
so
that's
fun.
what I was thinking of. I think something like that. But anyway, very curious. Interesting. And then that's just another example of how broad the spectrum goes when you're talking about the pop culture and scary stuff. There's movies, there's TV shows, there's video games. I mean, obviously costumes. So it's all over the place, especially right now.
Well,
and I'm just
speaking
trying to
of
think about-
Raccoon City and all of that, I found it very disturbing. People were comparing Raccoon City and coronavirus, right? Because it's the same letters. I'm like, really? You guys want to spin it like that? The world's scared enough.
Right.
Yeah, leave it to Ryan to make it weird. Sorry.
Oh, there's a thing for you.
Yeah, there's a bingo square.
Yeah.
Carl
Uh,
Weathers.
Is that for?
Carl
Is that making it?
Carl Weathers. I'm surprised no one's cast Carl Weathers in any horror movies out of even the ones that we're coming up with here.
You know what?
Like-
I bet you if we go to his IMDb, there's some movie.
Yeah.
That's
Going
a
there
horror
right
movie.
now.
I'm
Check
I
it.
bet you there's some. I mean, it seems like all these actors have been in some horror, scary, zombie, whatever movie before.
Action
and-
Jackson's pretty horrifying.
So let's do the exact opposite.
He was a voice in Toy Story of Terror.
There you go. You win.
Oh, he
Sheriff
was in
Tom
something called-
versus
Oh,
the
I-
zombies.
Oh,
I was
Sheriff
about
Tom
to
versus
say it.
zombies.
You
Yeah,
stole my thunder, Sully.
How about this? What's the worst scary movie you've seen? Like something that you just like, oh my god, this is awful. And while you're
Leprechaun 2.
Leprechaun
Iron Man
2.
2. Iron Man 2.
How is this a horror movie?
It was horrible.
Oh,
my God.
please.
Oh,
Anyway, I
Burn.
mentioned I have two of them. The first one I mentioned was the prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever that was. It was just disturbing and not very good story and whatever. The other one was, and I watched this with some friends. I wasn't doing anything that would make it move better, but I think they did. It was Attack of the Killer Condoms. Swear to
Oh
God.
no.
Swear to God, that's the movie. And these condoms had teeth, and they didn't know it at the time. And every time they'd be doing something, and they just start screaming and attacking, and there'd be blood everywhere, and that'd be the end of it. It was like, what is this? Who came up with this?
These
How did you get a
condoms had
copy of it?
teeth.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was. I wish I would have known what they were on, and they offered me some because I just was so confused the whole
Is that
time.
a Colorado jug joke?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
But anyway,
What site did you see this on?
it was at somebody's house. I mean, they had it on. I think it was actually on VHS too. So I mean, you could just imagine how horrible the effects were. I'm pretty sure the condoms were puppets. Had strings
Is that
dangling down.
Condoms were puppets. Holy cow.
Yeah, but it was.
Is that a trauma
that down,
movie
too.
like Toxic Avenger or something?
Yes,
Because that
it
sounds
is.
like one of their things. Is it really?
It really is. Yes, because I remember that specifically. Yep, it is. I
Wow.
totally didn't think of it. It was. Oh my god! So I don't remember much of it except that it was just awful, and I didn't understand it at all because I was like, "What is going on here?" But somebody had a copy of it somehow, and we watched it. So I didn't walk out on that one, even though I should have. But I was holding on, saying maybe this will make sense, or maybe something funny will happen. No, it never did.
Maybe it was because of how long ago it's been, and maybe I need to go back and rewatch it. But I was not impressed at all by the Lawnmower Man. I don't know if anybody
Oh,
else.
is that
actually
really even
watched
a
that.
horror movie?
Is that a Stephen King book? The main movie?
It was Stephen King, but I don't remember it being it was like a sci-fi sort of
Yeah.
thing. But
Right.
I guess
Was
it
it?
was
Would you
supposed to
say
be
more
scary.
sci-fi? Yeah,
I
thought it
really
was supposed
can't
to be.
remember
Maybe
enough
that's part of the problem.
about it.
I think you're right. I think they had a Super Nintendo game after it. That's what I'm thinking of, to be honest. But yeah, okay. Anybody else got just a bad one that they remember seeing and didn't like, or you're just like, why did you make this in the first place? Or
I remember watching like the first Hostel, and
Oh.
I just
Eyeball.
honestly I am still scarred. Just thinking about that, the imagery and stuff they do there, and like that's pretty much the the definition of the type of movie I don't want to see
Yeah.
ever again.
I would never, ever, ever want to watch that, just based upon the sole fact that I've heard horror stories that these kinds of things actually happen in Eastern Europe. I'm just like, ugh, no,
Right.
no, thank
I
you.
don't know how much. Yeah,
Yeah, they
like,
happen
it's-
after the movie because they gave people ideas.
Yeah, people got ideas
No.
of what to do.
People.
That always scares me. Like when somebody figures out a new way to rob a bank or something. Like, great, give them ideas, folks.
Oh,
Seriously.
totally. Yes. I 100% agree on that notion. How about anybody else?
I'm sticking with Leprechaun too.
Do it, Clint. Do it. I'm the leprechaun.
I'm the leprechaun. Garth, it's warm. Heather Locklear's there. Calm down.
Didn't that have wasn't Jennifer Aniston in
Yeah.
one of the Leprechauns?
Yeah, they use her face on the cover of the poster in the box.
of
even though
course.
she's not hardly in it at all. I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Ryan, Nate,
I mean-
you got a least favorite or something you just hated? Or you read about on Wikipedia in Nate's case?
Yeah,
On your Wikipedia.
anything with porcelain dolls. Like, I think
Oh.
that would just be a big no.
I
Just
think
like
the cheesiest one I saw that I remember, I've spoken about this before, was like The Reanimator.
oh yeah, you've mentioned
It's just
it
a
before.
weird movie, but that's the only one that
Yeah.
really comes to mind for me.
Interesting. I was just curious because I'm not a big scary movie fan, so I mean it already has like a knockdown compared to other movies when I go see it because I'm not excited about it compared to seeing like Anchorman. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it just couldn't be the same. So I imagine there's some really bad ones out there with that mindset going in. But I was just curious if you guys had any. Just because I'm thinking of we talk about the great ones and all the ones people like and the characters people like. I was just curious if there's one that just you hated or people just should never see or avoid, like the plague or COVID, whichever. So okay. Very good.
There's a Leprechaun 5. I was just looking up bad horror movies, and there's a Leprechaun 5. It's called Leprechaun 5 in the Hood, and it stars Ice.
Oh
In
yeah,
the Hood.
I remember,
remember
when that
that.
came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I've seen that.
Uh-huh.
In the hood. Wow.
In the Hood.
Yeah.
Is it in the hood or in the hood?
In the Hood.
Oh, it's
Oh, well,
Proper.
that's not
Opportunity
genuine at
missed.
It's
all.
proper. It's actually proper spelling and everything.
Those few letters were the difference between a great Rotten Tomatoes score and what happened to
Right.
it right there.
Right.
right. So, let's see what else I was thinking of. Anyone else? Welcome to chiming in. Do you have a? Well, I'm thinking. So Scream's popping into my head right now, and I'm thinking of Drew Barrymore dying in the very beginning as being a twist. You know what I mean? Like I know people saw that movie. And I'm sure you. I have to admit I'm a bad podcast listener on everybody's podcast. You guys probably already talked about this on yours, but what? Let's end this before we get to something else. What's a twist that you remember in a movie besides some of them we've talked about that really got you to really like a movie of a scary movie in a sense?
Psycho.
Psycho. That's a good one.
Because the same thing happened. That's the first movie I ever watched where you're like, okay, this is our main character for like 30 minutes, and then she gets killed.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do we do now? Because I was kind of invested in that story, and that was honestly probably a moment for me that made me fall in love with Hitchcock. Like, who's bold enough to do something like that
And make it work. Yeah.
And it worked, man. That was a fantastic movie. Love that movie.
Nice.
That's a
I mean,
tough one. I mean, you mentioned Sixth Sense. That definitely came to mind. The first Saw.
Yeah. The first Saw was yeah.
Mhm.
Hell of a
That was crazy.
twist.
Don't say
Yeah.
anything. Who hasn't seen it?
Yeah. I won't spoil that.
was
The twist is clearly right in the first 5 minutes in that one.
Yeah.
So that'll get you.
Okay.
Wow. I'm trying to think.
Saw is a good one. Saw is a good one. Would Seven count as a horror movie? And maybe the twist ending on that one?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
psychological.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's
like
in the
that. That was
box?
Yes.
And now as Funko Pop collectors goes a whole other story now.
Yeah.
But yes.
What's in the box? Everything.
Also a psychological thriller.
Yes. I had something in mind. Now I can't think of what it was.
Cabin in the Woods, I think.
Oh, so good.
had a-
Yes.
had a
Great
really
reference.
good- Really good ending.
I'm watching that again, like this week.
And that was a good twist as a whole, like on turning that sort of genre on its head.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice. I think well, I guess in a similar vein with killing off characters unexpectedly, like The Shining, when
Yeah.
they have this whole
Mm.
thing where with Halloran, where he's talking with Danny the whole time, and he travels all that way through that stupid snowstorm, and then just gets an axe in the gut immediately. I'm like, well, that was anticlimactic. Way to go. And I've tried to figure out if like him even being there helped in any way, like just distracted, but it didn't help at all. It was a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I already mentioned Sixth Sense and Jigsaw, but I was trying to think of something maybe not like twisty, but just like a kind of like a shocking moment, like what the crap is this? But I would probably go with Blair Witch Project. Just since it was kind of like the real first found film genre of, I guess, scary movies that had come out. Yeah. And then just that ending, that they just kind of ended on that note, and then nope, that's it. There's somebody standing in the corner. Done. Movie over. I'm like, what is going on? I remember people standing up at the movie theater, yelling and pointing at the screen. Like,
Screen,
oh,
yeah.
what's going on? This can't be the end of it.
I went to a theater in Houston to see that, and they weren't playing it in many places. And it was a big event, but I remember walking out of there, and this was like the first, I'm going to say it's the first found footage movie that made
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Theaters like that. And people really thought it was real.
Yep.
And they were leaving and be like, oh my God, those poor people. And there was, and remember the internet was kind of new at the time too. They had made a website where for the movie that had like, real pictures and evidence and stuff. That was the best marketing probably of any movie ever. Cause the timing of it.
There was like an hour-long documentary style thing on Sci-Fi around that time that we watched because you were talking about the movie and telling us about it, and we're like, I don't know if we're gonna see the movie. We'll watch this, and we were like, this is real. They found a videotape buried 10 feet down from 30 years ago.
I remember you're talking about the marketing. I think that when they first, before it went into theaters, they did a bunch of festivals. And at the festivals, they, instead of having like, where you have the director and you have the actors and stuff, they're interviewing and showing stuff off. They had none of those people there, and they had people pretending to be like, these people are actually missing. It's like a booth of
that's great.
Missing people posters and like, all the lore around the area and stuff like that. So yeah, they went all in with that, and it was really impressive. The movie was very strange, but it was effective. It was effective.
A lot of people can't watch it, like the shaky cam stuff.
Yeah, the shaking was a bit tough. Yeah.
The snot coming out of her nose.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one for me, but I'm drawing a blank. Ryan, you got anything?
Nope.
Fair enough. I'm being honest and direct and blunt and quick.
Would you guys classify like Cloverfield as a horror movie?
Oh, I love Cloverfield.
Yeah, sure.
Could be, yeah.
Because it's got a big monster, and why not?
Yeah. Because people could argue it's like a monster movie, whereas some monster movies aren't horror. Yeah, I think the first Cloverfield for sure. Like the first Cloverfield, the way that was filmed, like, again, it was very found footage style, but a little bit less jumpy with the cameras. But you only see the monster, I think, in Cloverfield for like 3 seconds in the entire movie, right? And the whole time you're just like, what does this thing look like? What is happening? And they could have very easily been like, there's no monster. Like it could have been something else. So
I love how they did that too. That was really well done.
Well, that makes me think of Jaws too, like how long it took before we actually saw the shark. And if that qualifies as horror, which I think it should, then actually that would probably be my number one horror film. I love Jaws. I think that's such an amazing movie. I've watched it dozens of times, and I will continue to watch that movie dozens of times. It's perfectly done. And the waiting to be able to do that, it's always scarier. I think go back to Hitchcock always says that too. It's like not showing you what you don't see is scarier than what
implied.
You see. Yeah,
kind of what Sully was talking about earlier, urban legend type stuff. I don't know how true it is, but I've always heard that the deal with Jaws with the shark was out of necessity because for the first part of the filming they couldn't get it to work, so he just ended up kind of accidentally building up the tension for the first half of the movie or so.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All right, I have one. I think mine would be Identity with John Cusack.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Good one. Yeah.
I was trying to think of that. Yeah, the ending in that one is interesting. For sure.
It has the dude with the freaky eye movement in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That guy has an actual medical condition that causes that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yes.
It's a great movie, though.
look at all these horror movies I have to look up on Wikipedia later because I'm gonna be too scared to watch them.
His film
Nate, what's
festival
the-
is just reading pages.
Are there any that you were too scared to finish the article?
Yeah.
It's like, Nate, what's your favorite scary movie you've ever read?
You just provide
Oh,
a link
there's-
to a Wikipedia
Oh
page.
man, there's so many. Like I'll just go down the rabbit hole of like reading Wikipedia articles on scary movies. There was one I think it was, I forget what it was. It was like some ballet academy, and it was like about like this crazy witch lady. And my buddy actually watched the movie and he told me about it, and he's just like explaining just kind of how well done it was. But I gotta look it up. I'll share it with you guys. But yeah, that one was kind of messed me up because that was like one of the scariest ones ever. I don't even remember the name of the movie.
Suspiria?
Yes.
Wow.
That was the one. Yeah.
That one's like
Yeah.
very. I've never seen it, but I've
Yeah.
been told it's one of those that comes up in like a bunch of circles. You read about. It's supposed to be a fantastic, and they did a remake of that one recently, like a few years back as well. But I think the original is supposed to be better.
Yeah, there was
As-
just the one scene that my buddy was telling me was that I think she, like the witch, possesses one of the dancers, and she's controlling her as she's dancing around the dance hall, and she's like exorcist style, like twisting around, like she's like limbs are breaking, like, and she's just doing ballet moves as she's dancing. And yeah, just reading that even was just like, okay, this is this is a bit much. I can't even imagine watching it.
No, thank you.
Dance
No, you
for
gotta
me,
save you
baby.
guys some save you guys some eye bleach. You don't have to like, watch that. Yeah, anyone got anything else before we wrap up this movie chat?
No,
No,
this
that
is
was
good.
Good discussion. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
I liked it
Awesome.
too.
It's fun.
Yeah, I gotta go read some reading. I like Nate.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's
go
much
read about
easier.
some of these movies.
Like 10 minutes of an article, it'll save you like 2 hours of like watching something that you don't want to watch. I'm just telling you.
Nate, I love you, brother, but that's not the way to enjoy movies. You're doing it wrong. There's a whole lot that goes into a movie other than
That's true.
the
That's very
synopsis.
Right. That's true. Maybe that's what I'll work on. That New Year's resolution. Watch more scary movies.
Well, and in high school, we both worked at a video store, and we were able to bring home like I don't know, you could rent like 3 or 4 movies at a time, and I took advantage. I rented like 4 movies a night, and I would stay up and watch them all. And I got to the point where I was purposely trying to watch bad movies because I was educating myself. I wanted to know, why is this bad?
Yep.
So I learned a ton from watching really terrible movies. Now I think I've learned enough where I don't need to know anymore. So I'm very selective on what I watch. But there is a lot of education and stuff if you're really trying to branch out into understanding film and stuff. Watch bad movies just as many as the top movies,
Good call.
Yeah, I still do it to this day where I'll just go down the rabbit hole on Netflix. If I'm not feeling good, especially if I'll just let it play whatever is recommended next. And if you let that happen long enough, you end up watching like shaky cam footage that was meant to be a real movie.
Oh, geez.
And then just some bad, like you can see the boom mic halfway through, some bad stuff out there. But occasionally, for some reason, those make me appreciate the better films that much more. So,
Hey, Sully,
That's awesome.
Velocipaster.
I know.
He's gonna keep pushing
Anyway,
you on it.
It's never been recommended to me by Netflix. I tell you that.
Well, it's because it's not on for Netflix. It's on
There you
Amazon
go.
Prime.
Oh,
But
there.
anyway, thank you
Glad
guys.
that
It's
you know
fun.
that.
But with all that said, I believe it is.
It's game time. Tried to do a little something different there for our
Carl
scary
Weathers.
movie theme, but
Ah.
just makes me sound like I drank a glass of milk or something. I'm real flimmy. I don't know.
Milk was a bad choice.
I immediately regretted it.
Well played.
Okay, so this week's game is called Bro. So I'm going to give you the first names of some famous brothers.
Oh.
You'll need to buzz in and give me their last names. You'll pick a number 1 through 10, and from the categories Celebrity Brothers, Sports Brothers, or Potpourri, which would be your just anything goes category.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Well done. Well done.
So
Alex
correct
Trebek be
answer.
proud.
Yes, correct answers are worth 10 points. Wrong, and you lose 10. The last person to answer correctly controls the board. There are 2 traps per category, which a trap means like it's either something really good or something really bad. I'll leave it at that. Once a guess has been made, the next person who buzzed in can steal, and so on and so forth. But if you buzz in and you're the second one, and you've got to try to answer, if that makes sense. So if Clint buzzes in, Ryan buzzes in right after him, and Clint gets it wrong, and that was the same answer Ryan was going to give, well, Ryan's SOL. He better give some kind of answer, or he's going to lose points too. Everybody cool?
It was movies, sports, potpourri, and they go 1 through 10.
Yes, celebrity, sports, and potpourri.
Celebrity, gotcha.
Yeah.
Potpourri.
I'm making myself a little Jeopardy board here on my.
Good call. And that's already a win there. That was
Scratch
awesome.
stuff out as you go. But I'm going to go ahead and let Matt go first and start us off.
All right. Well, I'll do movies for 1. Try softball.
Okay.
So,
So
real quick, the number isn't necessarily which is easier or harder, right?
no, it's not.
Well,
It's,
dang it. I've already lost.
Well, that's why I'm telling you now. I think you can change it if you really wanted to.
Well,
yeah,
so
if
it's
you
just
want to
random
change,
then?
it's just random. They're all worth the
Oh.
same points. They're all worth 10
Well, then
points.
then 1's fine with me. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Cool.
So, celebrity 1. Chris, Luke, and Liam.
I know.
That would be Chris. Sully would be first in.
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth is correct.
I
Very
forgot to
good,
buzz
sir.
in. Oops.
Chris Con. All right,
Okay,
so I get to pick the next one.
Yes.
We'll stick with celebrity for 2, please.
Oh, you landed on one of the traps.
Look at
Minus 20 points.
What?
Still is bored though, right?
You still have the board with
I'm
your
in the
negative
hole.
10 points.
-10. Well, this is
Yeah, we call
great.
that negative Nate points. That's
Negative
the new
Nate.
point.
Negative Nate point, yes.
That's like reading a Wikipedia entry for a good film. All right, I'll take celebrity for 3, please.
All right, here we go. Ben and Casey. Oh, Matt is first in.
Affleck.
Affleck is correct.
Affleck.
Very good. You have control over the board now, sir.
Do I have to remember what numbers were chosen?
1, 2,
Yes,
3.
you do.
That's how I'm doing the board.
Oh crap! I didn't write anything down. Okay, so celebrity for 10. Did you say 10?
Ooh,
No, we haven't done 10 yet. We're skipping
Okay,
ahead.
great.
Okay. Celebrity 10. David and James. First in would be negative Nate.
Franco.
Franco is
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
know that.
David. He never
Yeah.
goes by David.
I did not.
Yeah.
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 I have the same
Good
birthday
job,
as
Nate.
Dave Franco. Fun fact for you.
All right, Nate.
Ooh, let's stick with celebrities, and we'll go with 9.
Oh, you found the other trap.
Ah, son of a bitch.
And it's a bad time to find that trap because it's the switch points trap. So who are you going to
Oh.
switch points with?
Sully's like, pick
It really
I'll
doesn't
just-
matter.
Yeah, I'll switch him with Ryan.
So you're going to take 0 points?
Yeah, that's
That's a bold strategy.
Who else has
I
points?
also like to live dangerously.
Nobody.
Wait, who else has points?
All right. No,
Sure, like
it's
pumpkin.
Too late. Too late.
Well, I mean,
That's too late.
Silence yourself,
Too
Nathan.
late.
that's fine.
So Ryan now has 10 points, and you are now down to Ryan points, which would be 0. So you can go
That's
ahead
okay.
and choose again.
We'll go celebrities for 8.
Okay. Mark and Donnie.
Damn.
Matt was first.
What?
Wahlberg.
No, he wasn't.
Allberg. You typed in Carl Weathers.
So you didn't say we had to type in anything specific.
Oh my god.
Is that what you're going to type in every time is Carl Weathers?
He's doing
He has it copy and paste.
mother of pearl.
Oh my gosh. Clint.
Well, what?
Dang it.
It's
You can give it to him,
Wahlberg
whatever.
is the
He
answer.
doesn't get the point.
Okay.
It's fine. Clint will be okay. You're our guest. All right.
All right.
Now I know Clint's doing Carl Weathers.
Carl
as his
Weathers.
buzzer.
It was C.
The first letter of his name. Okay. Here we go.
What are we on? Celebrities for 6?
Okay. Jeff and Bo. Clint.
Bridges.
Bridges is correct.
God dang it.
You have control of the board.
I want to do potpourri for 1.
Ooh.
Ooh. Wilbur and Orville. Carl Weathers.
Redenbacher.
Huh?
What?
It's going to be a -10. Okay, the next
I think
person
I-
after that was Matt.
Right. The
Yes,
Wright
the
brothers.
Wright brothers.
The
Wilbur
right
and
answer.
Orville.
You are wrong, Clint.
I had to try because I was like, oh shit, that's not right. But Wilbur made me think otherwise. Anyway, good job.
Wilbur's also a
Uh,
pig. Just FYI.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Great story.
I don't remember what we're. I think Celebrity 5.
Yep, that's
Or-
all
Yeah,
available.
that one's available.
Okay.
Joe, Kevin, and Nick. Oh, Carl Weathers is buzzed in
Oh.
again first.
Jonas Brothers, I believe.
Jonas Brothers is correct.
Right.
Right.
You have control of the board.
Right.
Go sports in one.
Sports in 1. Cooper, Eli, and Peyton. Oh, Carl Weathers is quick on the draw with his copy and paste.
I'd be upset if I didn't get this right since I'm literally wearing the last name on my shirt right now. So
Can you give him negative points for doing that?
I'm gonna go with Manning. For what? Having the name on my shirt.
Negative points for wearing a shirt, sir. You know better.
You know better than
My
that.
mistake. Hold on.
Oh
Is the
God,
shirt-
no!
is the
Hold
shirts
on.
versus
It's a good
skins?
thing we're not on Twitch anymore.
Avert your
TOS
eyes.
violation.
All
right.
right. Let's go sports
Carl.
too.
Ooh. John and Jim.
Those are generic names.
Right.
I know. That's the difficult one. Chris Sully.
Hardball.
Yes, sir. Very good.
What was that? Sports 10?
That was
Smith.
2.
I'm back to 0 now.
That's
Yay!
2.
Yes, sir. Your choice.
It's your board.
Oh, sorry. Let's continue. Sports for 3.
Okay. Powell and Mark.
What was the first one?
Yeah. Someone's named Pow.
I'll spell it for you. P-A-U.
I buzzed already.
Oh.
Nate
Gasol.
Gasol is
Mm.
correct. Very good.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
I was thinking
Your choice?
POW.
Sports for 4.
Okay. Brooke and Robin. Ryan.
I'm going to guess. I'm probably going to get this wrong. Shields?
No.
That's sports, buddy.
Oh,
What's
Yeah, we're in-
I'm also trying to keep track here, so yeah. It's being
did-
difficult.
the next person that buzzed in was Nate
Lopez.
Lopez, the Lopez brothers,
So what was
basketball
this?
players. Ryan.
I think Brooke Shields is married to like a tennis player. At some
She
point.
is.
Well, wasn't she a volleyball
So,
player or something?
There you go.
What was this? Sports 4?
Yeah, that was
yes.
number 4.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Trying to keep track.
Okay.
what-
Nate.
Sports 5.
Okay. You don't get any points for this one, but you do now have the denied card. So the next time somebody gets an answer correct and you want to deny them that, whether it's because you're the next one that buzzed in or it's the end of the game or whatever, you get to deny their right answer.
Is this that game that was on Friends? Joey was going to be the host of the game where there was like Wacky Wingo or something.
Sounds about right.
All right, Nate, pick again. You still have control of the board.
We'll stick with sports. We'll go 6.
Okay. Mike and Marquise.
Oh.
No.
Chris Sully.
God dang it.
Is that your
Grissom.
answer?
No.
Back to -10.
Sandra Bullock.
I'm going to guess.
Nate, go ahead.
Morris?
Nope.
Mark and Marquise.
Yep.
So,
Okay, I'm not
That had to
going
be
in.
confusing at home.
Correct answer was Pouncy.
Pouncy.
oh. Are they kittens?
Yes, they are. They're cute kittens.
Well done.
Marquis Pouncy.
Shout out to the nerd foo. Points.
There it is.
All right, so I think that means Nate still has control of the board.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go back to celebrities in 7.
Luke and Owen. Ooh, Matt is first.
Wilson.
I was waiting on that one too.
Wilson is correct.
There's
You
also
control the board.
Wow.
Yeah.
You missed Andrew.
Wow.
I was just going for people that were actually important.
Oh, come on, Future Man.
He's good. All right, Celebrity still has one left if you want to go with that one, Matt.
Yeah, I'll take that final slip.
Okay, Celebrity number 4. Randy and Dennis.
Damn it.
Chris Sully.
Quaid.
Quaid
I
is
heard-
correct.
I heard Brandy. Dang it.
Brandy.
That's what I heard. I heard Brandy.
I've never heard a dude named Brandy, but
I'll
that's
take,
That's why I
silent
was
B.
thrown.
I'll take potpourri for 10, please.
Dennis Quaid is here.
Oh, no, sir. You picked a bad one. You
Ooh.
picked the Frozen trap. That means for the next 5 minutes, you cannot answer any questions.
Whoa.
5 minutes.
man.
5
way to
minutes
go.
in the
Actual.
box.
Into the unknown over here.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Siri, give me a
And
timer
you still
for
have
5 minutes.
control of the board.
So just sit there in silence for 5 minutes.
That's exactly what I'm about to do.
And you have to teach this monkey how to juggle chainsaws. Good luck.
I'd like to take this opportunity to speak about something just
Plug our
for,
podcast.
I don't know, 4 minutes and 48 seconds, something like that. No, let's, I'll give you guys potpourri for 9 then, you sons of
Potpourri for 9.
the worst thing ever.
Yep. Ira and George.
Oh, I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
I think I know this one too. That's what really pisses me off.
Yes.
Sure
Sorry.
you do.
Hold on, I'll write it down to prove it so that when you go to say it.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. The
Let's see
correct
it.
answer is
Let's see it.
Gershwin.
I was wrong. Son of a.
Oh, and you still have control of the board.
If I could just have your attention about an important topic for the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Wait,
How about-
George Glass, wasn't that the imaginary boyfriend from
Yep.
the...
Which means he had a brother named Ira.
Hey, it is potpourri. He didn't say they couldn't be fictional people, did he?
Oh, okay.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's true. That's
Potpourri
George
for
Glass.
8.
Potpourri for 8. Joel and Ethan. Matt Sully.
Cohen.
Cohen is correct. Now you have control over the board.
Whatever. Just give me a number as long as there's no pitfalls of any kind.
No,
That
see,
was
that's why you got to pick.
I found them all.
Potpourri for 4.
Okay.
Is that available?
Potpourri for 4. That is available.
Great.
Jacob and Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
The answer is not daddy.
Yeah.
So
Jacob
close.
Daddy. I like that name.
Somebody in the audience knew that.
I don't.
Oh, this is the Brothers Grimm.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
All right. You still have control over the board, Matt.
Potpourri for 5.
Still, yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
I'm just throwing darts here.
Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack.
Albert, Sam, and Jack,
And Harry.
And Harry.
and Harry.
No clue.
Oh, those would be the Warner Bros. Like, as in Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh,
wow.
I don't think I ever knew their names.
I'd never heard that.
I thought it was just two dudes. Something's wrong.
Or at least that's what I read. All right, moving on. Your choice, Matt.
Oh, potpourri for 2.
2 is available.
Thanks, brother.
John, Ted, and Bobby.
Oh, that's not right.
Ooh, Carl Weathers. Go ahead, Carl.
What were the names again?
John,
bad.
Ted, and Bobby.
Yep.
John, Ted, and Bobby. I don't know. The Brady Bunch.
No, sir.
I know it's not right.
The next one was Chris Sully.
I can't guess.
Oh,
been five.
why'd you
It's
buzz
been
in?
5 minutes, right?
It's an accident.
No, it hasn't. Matt
Kennedy.
Kennedy is correct.
Kennedy.
Very good.
So wait, his name's actually Bobby or is it Robert?
Yeah.
Well, everybody called him Bobby, but it's
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy. But
Okay,
everybody
that's
called him
how that
Bobby
works.
Kennedy.
Okay,
That's
fair
fair.
enough. Just curious.
Sorry, what
I
number
mean,
was that?
technically, I guess John is what, Jonathan? Maybe I don't know if that's
no,
true.
no,
I'm
I
just
just-
randomly throwing out stuff.
The Bobby threw me off.
What number was that? Sorry.
that
That
was-
was number 2 on Potpourri.
Okay.
So, Matt, you have control over the board. Sports that are available is 7 through 10. Celebrities all done, and Potpourri is 3, 6, and 7.
I still have 5 on sports.
I'll do 3 on Potpourri. Sports isn't my bag.
3 on Potpourri.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's a very interesting one. So this is a 3 times point card.
Wow.
So you need to decide if you're going to use it before I read a question. So in other words, on the next one, you say, "Oh, I want to go ahead and use it now before I even read it."
So if he's not the first
So,
to ring
but you
in,
can
or
use it whenever.
So does he still have to ring in?
Oh, that's Chris's timer is going off. No, but he does use it like it's used up. So like if he says I'm going to use it this round, but now Chris Sully buzzes in first, then he's lost that card.
Okay.
So
I
he's also got to
see.
be able to get
Okay.
buzzed in first.
That's
too.
Do you
I
lose
lose-
3 times the points? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't lose 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So negative 10.
Oh, well, then I'll use it this time.
Use it this round, okay?
Sure.
Getting cocky.
Well,
So we got 6 and 7 on Potpourri and 7 through 10 on sports. 5 was already taken, Clint. That's the
What?
denied card that Nate got.
Oh, that's why I missed it. Okay.
Which, I mean, like, if Matt gets this one right and he denies him, that would be pretty awful. But anyway, that's something he could do with it.
oh, Nate, don't do it.
Nate, no.
I'll take 6 on Potpourri.
All right.
Nate, something's happening in the other room.
There's a fire. I can see.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No.
Chico, Harpo, Groucho, Gummo, and Zeppo. Matt,
Marks.
Yeah.
Marx Brothers. Nate?
I'd be really rude to deny
Oh,
him.
you
As,
should-
as
you
a
should.
guest, I should, but I
He's
won't.
waiting for one of
Oh,
us.
come on.
I'm waiting for Clint or Ryan.
Yeah.
Just
I haven't
fully
been able
on
to
that.
buzz in. The one that I buzzed in, I got wrong. So
Okay.
Well, thanks, Nate.
What do you want?
You just
Potpourri
made my
7?
Christmas list.
You're
You want Potpourri for
Matt.
7?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7.
Okay. Jackie, Jermaine, Tito, Marlon, and Michael.
oh, come on.
Matt.
Jackson.
Jackson. Now you got to go to the sports, brother. Good thing you built up
Ah.
some points there.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me one of them sports questions.
Nothing. You got to choose. There's still one trap left on the board.
What'd you have to say? 7 through 9 or something?
7
7.
through
yeah.
10.
7 through 10.
7 through 10. Okay.
7. Here we go.
No trap.
Seth and Steph. Nate.
Curry.
Whoa.
Curry is correct.
I don't think he was first there.
It's a Carl Weathers.
It says it on my side. I don't even see anything for you. I see
Yeah, I don't see
Nate,
Carl
and then I
Weathers.
see Chris Sully. I don't see
Yeah.
anything for
You're
you.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. I was looking at the wrong
Impressive.
thing.
He
All right,
forgot
my
to hit
mistake.
Control V.
Yeah, oh no, I thought
Pasted in the wrong window.
Yes.
All right, Nate.
Oh, is there? There's still a trap left, right?
There's
Yep.
one left. Yeah.
Oh, this game sucks.
Don't worry, I'll find it.
Rig.
Let's go with 10. Sports for 10.
All right.
Sports for 10. Nick and Joey. Carl Weathers.
Joey, I was totally thinking Backstreet Boys, and that's obviously not right.
This is the sports category.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh wait, and they're not even brothers anyway. But
Oh my gosh.
Nick and Joey, they're
Stop
football
stalling.
players. I can't think of it. Bosa.
Yep.
Yes.
That was my guess.
Hmm.
Dang it.
Correct.
Sporty Spice.
Okay, left on the board is 8
8 and 9?
and 9 in sports. That's it.
Oh, 9.
9.
You missed the battleship.
Marcus, Isaiah, and Desmond.
Marcus, Isaiah.
Football players. I'll give you a hint.
Right. I don't know. I'm gonna hit myself when I get it, but I was waiting.
Correct
for the
answer is True Font.
Mm.
And the last one is a trap. And Clint, since you have control of the board now, you get to decide who to give 20 points to, since that's the final trap.
myself.
Who gets the 20 points? No, you can't choose yourself.
Who's so how much of a lead does Matthew have?
Too
over-
much for anybody to even come close to
There we
beating him
go.
at this point.
Who has negative points?
Domination.
Nobody, but Ryan just has Ryan points right now.
How many
Yeah.
points do I have?
I don't know. Sucky
You're
points.
supposed to be
matter.
keeping track of this stuff.
Oh, I thought
I've got so many scratch outs, and Matt just started blowing everybody away so much.
I will
just
give
kinda
it.
gave
I
up.
will give it to the big Sully, as he called himself earlier.
Oh, there we go. So Chris has 20 points,
Uh,
and Matt
Sucking up for
has
that
a
VIP that
total
you have on the
of
page.
100 points.
Oh,
Matt
man.
Sully
Oh,
is
man.
our winner.
All
done.
right.
Oh, the Will
damn.
Chamberlain on that one, sir.
Yeah.
That was
Sports
fun.
reference.
100-point game. Yeah, sports reference. Way to close it out.
All right. I'm okay. I thought I was going to end up with negative at the end there, so I'll take it.
Better than
Good job.
negative.
Better than
Yeah,
Ryan.
no.
Better than negative 8 points.
Yeah, better than negative 8 points, which just came to be a thing last week, which is, I guess it's going to stick. So thank you
If
for
Ryan
that.
points is stuck, then negative Nate
Yeah.
is going to stake too. I mean, let's face it. That's how these things work.
We
And
gotta
not
get that
one
on a
Carl
bingo
Weathers
square.
question.
I was expecting Carl
Yeah.
Weathers'
I
question.
thought it was gonna be all Carl Weathers questions.
Damn Carl Weathers' family for not having
Yeah.
another boy so he could have a brother so he could be in the game. I'm assuming. I don't know.
He might have a brother. I don't know.
I have no idea either.
To the Google.
To-
On to the Googles.
To the
Oh,
Google.
you mean you're going to Google it?
I already said that earlier in the episode, but
Oh,
you didn't
I didn't
bring
catch
me.
it. I'm sorry. My
Yeah.
mistake.
And there he goes trying to force a square.
Now you
Yeah,
have
you
negative
go.
points.
Oh, this is going to be a good old-fashioned punch-out here, sir.
Oh, there it is.
At least it's not me doing that anymore.
I know. That boy ain't right.
Oh, King of the Hill reference.
That boy ain't right.
That's not your purse.
Anyways, thank you, Joey. That's a very, very fun game.
That was fun. Yep.
Thank you, Sully Brothers, for joining us today. That was a great time having you guys come chat with us. As you can see and hear, we could definitely go hours and hours talking about movies and going off on tangents. So we definitely have to have you guys back at some
Yeah.
point, maybe talking about something else. Maybe movie related, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe just we'll have a Carl Weathers episode. That'd be-
Oh,
that might
I'm
be-
there.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really.
Hey, hey, brother Sully, why don't you guys majorly plug yourselves here and really tell us where we can
Yeah.
find you.
Yeah,
what
really,
you do.
really go ahead
Really
and plug
plug
yourself.
yourself.
I realize as I was
Just
saying
plug
that didn't sound
away.
the greatest.
Just
but
plug
please,
away.
Plug it.
Well,
it up.
for me, I'm on Twitter at Matt C. Sully Tweet. I also have a blog at mattcsully.com. I'm writing some horror flash fiction stories on there right now. If you want to read, if Nate, you want to read
Yeah,
some
no, I'm
scary
there.
stuff, it's
it
more
on
your
Wikipedia.
speed. And of course, we have the podcast Movie Retakes. You can find that all over the place. We've got Twitter at Movie Retakes, on YouTube. We are on all your favorite platforms for listening to podcasts. And we have a great time doing that. And I'd really appreciate you guys joining us and following us and subscribing. It's a lot of fun.
I keep missing the live, so I need to do that.
And for the other Sully, you can definitely catch me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Twitch, where I live stream 5 days a week on average, pretty much every day except for Thursdays and Sundays. All CSSULLY on all three of those. And then, of course, like my brother said, Movie Retakes. And then, I love being on Twitter. I can't get enough people to interact with on Twitter. So join us
Oh.
there.
You're gonna hate for saying that. I'm gonna tweet at you all the time now.
Please
As
do.
if
I
you
just
don't.
love it. That's
so
my
many
preferred.
open secrets are coming your way.
Open secrets.
Oh, and we have the website too, movieretakes.com.
There you go.
Wanted to
That's
get
the
that
other
in
one.
there.
Awesome.
Matt has put in a lot of hard work on the website and it looks fantastic. So hopefully
Awesome.
everybody will go check it out.
Thanks, brother.
Literally. I'm not
Brothers
surprised
don't
they
shake
weren't,
hands. Brothers.
Brothers
hug.
got a hug.
You know what you should have done, Joey? You should have had a Matt and Chris question. in
I
there.
was wondering if he would
Yeah.
sneak it in there. I'd feel bad to miss that one.
I would have been
In the
awesome.
potpourri
if I- yeah.
section, that would have worked.
Yeah.
That would have worked nicely.
Then you'd
Yeah.
find out our real last name.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's Sully.
Spoiler alert. It's still Sully.
Everybody gets quiet like there's going to be a big reveal. I've held on to this for years, and he's going to
that,
pull the cover.
it's like, well, it goes so well with what we were talking about earlier with twists at the end. So
It was Shyamalan the whole time.
I'm gonna start calling you that too.
Doesn't have the same
That's
ring.
awesome.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't.
And there's no Disney characters named that I know of.
Give it a minute.
Right.
So thank you guys for listening. Thank you again, Sully Brothers, for joining us. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. Again, you can email us at dorksman@gmail.com. It reminds me to set out the out of office email, which will tell you not to email us. You can be, I think Ryan will probably be streaming at some point this week, maybe Monday or maybe later tonight.
Yeah,
He'll
I
be on
usually
Twitch.
try Monday, Thursday, Saturday, but that's work permitting on
Yeah.
Monday and Thursday, of course.
Stupid
Cool.
work.
Stupid work.
Stupid work.
Yeah,
Quit your
stupid
job.
way.
Be a streamer.
I wish,
Um,
but yeah, doesn't work that way for me.
Clint, you'll be playing some Nintendo on Tuesday night with Big Sully, probably.
I think so. Maybe play some Splatoon this week.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Joey's still busy setting up his house, so once that's all done, we'll be probably jumping back into Fall Guys Season 2, which is just released recently. So, we got to get back into the Fall Guys. You can hear Joey screaming no, and Ryan doing the impression of Joey screaming no.
Ryan, do it.
Is that good?
That
It was great.
Perfecto.
That was perfect. So yeah, and as always, we will have our Dorksman game night on Fridays. It's usually sandwiched between the Sully stream. So Sully usually go in the afternoon.
Sully sandwich.
Sully sandwich.
It's actually wrong that way because we would be the meat and he's the king of the meat. So it doesn't quite work. Unless you're doing that sandwich at KFC that had the 2 chicken
Where it's
patties.
just
That's
all
all
Call
down.
me chicken?
I
It's
am.
just all meat.
Yellow.
Clint
Calling
is
me
sandwiching
yellow.
his meat between Sully. Is
Oh,
what I heard.
God,
Come
no. Let's
on.
get out of here. This
Yeah, I think we're done here.
Oh,
That marks the end
Forever.
of everything.
We're disbanding. Both podcasts are disbanding.
man.
No, we're not. We'll still be here. But yeah, so just make sure you're hanging out, following us on Twitter and stuff, because that's where we'll have all our info every week. But yeah, so if that's all we've got left, we're gonna do our regular sign outs. If you guys have something, you guys do your own. So we'll
Yeah,
just
you guys get to
run
go
it through.
last.
Yeah, cool. So with that, that's my secret. I'm always angry.
The C in CS Sully stands for Carl Weathers.
Word homies.
Please, no gang signs.
nerds unite.
Follow your dreams.
Perfect.